quality is a 10 out of 10. This is not the experience I had last year. Hello you guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So in today's video, we are going to be unboxing the new iPhone 17 Pro. I cannot believe we're already at the 17. I remember starting these videos when unboxing the 13 Pro, so we've come a long way. Today we're going to unbox it. I'm going to set it up with you all, and then we'll try some features of it. We'll talk about the changes, what's new, what's different, especially because I upgrade every year just to make these videos. So I have the 16 Pro, and we can kind of talk about the differences of that, and if it is worth you buying the phone if you have a 16, or if it's worth you buying the phone if you have something like the 14 or the 15. I will say before we get started, when this iPhone was announced and they showed the pictures of it, my instant thought was, that is ugly. But I'm going to keep an open mind today, and we are going to unbox it and see how it looks in person. I feel like photos and things online don't always look the same as they do in person. I think the thing that I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good, is how spread out the camera is now. Instead of being like this, it is going to be completely spread out, and they're going to have this like rectangle on the back that's a bit of a lighter shade. So I did get the silver iPhone in, I believe it's a 512 gigabyte. So we're gonna be able to see how the silver looks, because on camera, this part was looking a lot more white. Okay, I'm done talking. Let's get into the unboxing. I know that's what you guys want to see. I'll also leave timestamps below. So if you don't feel like hearing me talk in the beginning, you can skip that. This is honestly my favorite part. Oh gosh, I'm scared for this part. What if it's ugly? Let's see. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad on first impressions. Let's see, let's take it out. So first impressions is it does not have, since we've moved from the titanium back to the aluminum, it no longer has that like shiny sides to it. It's a lot more just like, I would say sleek would be the word that I would use for it. I do like the feeling of the phone. Something else that they did change was where the Apple logo is. If we look at where the logo is on the 16 Pro versus the 17 Pro, it's been moved down. So I know a lot of people were talking about that because it may look weird with MagSafe cases, but let's keep unboxing. We also got the cord, the braided cord that we normally do. Okay, so big changes. Looking at it is clearly going from the titanium back to aluminum. It has a different feel. It has a different texture. It's not as shiny as the 16 Pro is. It also just gives, to me, it gives very matte. Like this is all very matte, and the back, this part is a little bit shinier, but it's just a very matte phone compared to the 16 Pro, which is very shiny. So if I kind of compare the two here, see how like the 16 Pro is like just super shiny everywhere, leaves a lot of fingerprints on the side. This phone is a lot more sleek. So they also have added a new scratch resistance on the front and the back of the phone. It's supposed to help with scratching and to be scratch resistant, which is nice because we don't have that on the 16 Pro. We also have the new A19 Pro chip, and in the 16 Pro we had the A18 Pro chip. Another big difference with these phones is that the 16 Pro has 27 hours of battery with video playback, and the 17 Pro has 33. The 17 Pro Max has 37. That is going to be for me the biggest difference in the 17 Pro versus Pro Max this year. Is if you feel like you need 37 hours of video playback, then you may want to get the Max, but it's going to be a lot bigger. My brother actually had gotten a new phone and he got the Pro Max, and he within a day was like, I do not like the size. So keep that in mind. It is a bit heavier than the Pro series will be, but you may get a little bit better battery life. So off rip, I feel like this phone feels heavier. I don't know why. The 16 Pro feels lighter. Another important thing on the inside of these phones is the cooling chamber, which is clearly behind here. The cooling chamber is going to allow for the phone not to overheat as quickly as they did, which actually happened to me today. I had taken my phone because I was waiting for this one to go get delivered, and I sat in the car for like a good 30-45 minutes. I was on TikTok and all of that, and it did get really hot trying to charge it. So I will be interested to see a good like week from now how much I feel the cooling chamber helps. Okay, the next thing I want to look at is the buttons. I like to kind of compare it. Did things move? So as we know, the Apple logo did move. It is no longer centered, which I think is going to annoy some people with clear cases. I have a clear case, so we'll see when we put that on. And then something that's interesting is on the top of the phone. On the top of the 16 Pro, it was just shiny. On the top of the 17 Pro, we have this thing right here, which is different. So here's just another full circle of what the 17 Pro looks like before turning it on. I also like to check the cameras. Now that we have this huge change in how the cameras look, I always wonder, do they protrude out too much? With the 16 Pro, I found that it did protrude out like the cameras way more than the 15 and the 14 did. So when we're looking at it, it is a big difference, but I always like to do the little test of setting it down. The 16 Pro is pretty wobbly. Ooh, the 17 Pro is not as wobbly because it goes all the way across and the 16 Pro doesn't. It gets wobbly. If you're one of those people who doesn't use a screen or a case, I could never, that would bother me. Now this one doesn't have as much, to me, it doesn't move as much because it goes all the way across. So we'll look into all the new things with the camera. I'm very excited for the front facing camera and the back facing camera and the new changes with that. That would be my most exciting thing that's happened. Let's get the phone set up and then we will be able to look at all of that. Okay, so let's get the new iPhone 17 Pro set up. It feels so different to me and I don't know why. I think it's like the matteness of the phone compared to the 16 Pro, but let's get it set up. And let's see how long it takes to set up. Last year I had some issues with setting it up, so we'll see if we have the same issues this year. And here we have the infamous hello that we get in all the different languages. This looks different, the screen, but okay, check it out. We are clearly going to pick English. Select your country or region. I'm in the United States. So here you can check your appearance. You could choose what you want your text to look like. If you're someone who needs text to be bigger, then you could change it to large. I like to keep mine at the default setting. Okay, it says quickly set up iPhone. Bring your current iPhone or iPad near your new phone to sign into your Apple account and get set up. I brought my new phone closer. Now I'm going to click continue, set up new phone. Okay, now it says waiting for the other iPhone. Position your image in the frame. You guys may not be able to see my 16 Pro that much because I do have a privacy screen on, which I probably could take off by now. So your old iPhone is going to say set up new iPhone and you can click set up for me. So it says finish on your new iPhone. So it says enter passcode. I'm not going to let y'all see that. And then it is setting up the new phone. Last year we did have issues with this. A lot of people did have issues with this part of setting up their new phone, and it did take quite a while. We'll see if we have that same issue with this phone. So I will come back to you guys when the phone is set up. It is currently 2:30, so let's see how long it takes. Oops, so it's asking me to confirm my phone number. I'm confirming because that is my phone number. And then you have to give them a one-time passcode that goes to your other phone. So let me put that in. Y'all, everything looks different. Even the keyboard looks different than the 16, which I'm assuming we have the new iOS on this, so that could be why. Normally with the new phones, they release the iOS. So we just got the iOS 26, so it could potentially be on that iOS already. Okay, it's gonna take a few minutes, so we'll come back. Okay, it just had a pop-up. It's only 2:32. Again, I can't show it to you guys because it has my phone number on it, but it says cellular setup complete. So we're going to hit continue. So it's only been 2 minutes. Oh, okay, here's where it's asking about software updates. I always recommend that people do this. It says a software update with important bug fixes is available for this phone. What happens with the new iPhones is the day of release, there's always something that happens. iPhone recognizes something, or Apple recognizes that there are bugs in the new phones, and they give you the option to update it so you don't have to deal with the bugs in your brand new phone. So we're gonna update, and then we're gonna do all the terms and conditions, which I don't always read. Do y'all read it? Okay, we're gonna wait for the new software to download. It is currently 2:33, so let's see how long it takes. And my old phone now says, enjoy your new iPhone. When you're ready, come back and get this iPhone traded in, sold, or even given away. Okay, it's counting down the seconds. This is not the experience I had last year. I definitely had some issues with updating the phone and getting everything transferred over. So let's see if it actually updates and we don't have any issues with that. Just patiently waiting. It is 2:39. It's working. Okay, it's 2:42 and it turned back on. So I'm assuming it took, what, 12 minutes so far? So let's see if it all worked. Let's see. Okay, back to the appearance. Okay, now it's asking me about Face ID. So we'll continue, we'll do it. Let's set it up. This is always funny. I am not gonna set this up. I will set up later in settings. Face ID is now set up. Setting up your account. That's me. That's me, that's she. I'm going to agree and then I'll read later because I won't be able to go on my phone. So I always just agree to that. Okay, I see things working. A new device was added. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so here is where it says, here's everything set up as you had it on your iPhone. So it'll have all your apps and data. It'll have your settings. It'll have your wallet and your like Apple Watch if you have one. So it says that all of my stuff is connected, which is good. Now to go through all of your cards, if you have any debit cards or credit cards set up, it's gonna ask you to go through and do the security code. So I'm gonna go do that for all of the cards. Okay, it's talking about Apple Intelligence next. It says that you can set it up now. We might as well just set it up now, get everything set up. So you can use Apple Intelligence to summarize content. It's already been doing that, so that's fine. In my other phone, choose notifications to summarize. Should we just do all of them? We won't do news and entertainment. Privacy notifications. Apple Intelligence can show you notifications that may be important in a separate section on the lock screen. I'm not going to do that one right now. Click camera control to open a camera app. Click again, yeah. Visual intelligence with the camera control. Click and hold camera control to learn more about the world around you. Siri, we will set that up now. Siri, how's the weather? Hey Siri, send a message. Siri, set up a timer for 3 minutes. Hey Siri, get directions home. Siri, play some music. Okay, now Siri will be set up to your voice. It says help, improve Siri, not right now. Then you've got your emergency SOS, and now it is time to restore from iCloud. Oh, this is the part that can take a while. I have a decent amount of apps, but I have over 60,000 photos and videos on my phone. I'm not someone who goes back and deletes them. I take 50 photos of one thing and then I normally just keep it on my phone. I'm very lazy for doing that. So I wonder if it'll show us what the estimated time will be, and then I guess we'll just charge the phone while doing this, and then if it gives me an estimation, I'll let y'all know. So it's currently 2:49 and we started at 2:20, right? So it's been 20 minutes and it's restoring my iCloud stuff now. So I wonder how long that's gonna take. Okay, it is 2:52 and it finally updated and says that the time remaining is about 17 minutes. That's not too bad. One time it didn't update. It said like 2 hours. So I'm gonna give it props for that. Okay, so it's currently 2:58 and the phone just turned on. It has my stuff on it is what it looks like. So let's get into it. Restore complete. So everything's going to continue to download. So if you have a lot of apps on your phone, you're an app person, then it's going to take a second. Oh, okay. So we do have iOS 26. There's been a lot of talk about iOS 26 and different things that it came with. Some people happy, some people not. Oh yeah, this is interesting. So when you swipe down, this is what it looks like now. It's very bubbly. Bubbly is like the best word that I can think of. So the two final things I want to talk about before we open up the case and everything like that is the cameras and the changes that have happened with the cameras. So what I'm most excited for is the front facing camera. The front facing camera now has 18 megapixels. You can tap to zoom, which I would get so annoyed that I couldn't do that previously with my other iPhones. You can also like get your photos to rotate. So let's just look at this while we're talking about it. Okay, so first off we'll do this camera first, the one looking at us. So now we can look at ourselves. We can make it zoom out while we're on the screen. I'm sorry. I may have looked at this phone and been like, it's not the cutest. It's growing on me as I'm sitting here. But the thing that I always get most excited for is photo and video. If you are one of my friends, you know that that's the thing I do the most. I'm the photo person, the video person. I cherish photos and videos. So this is what I'm truly going to love from it. So I like that you can do this. that you can zoom out, so you have that feature. The next thing that's awesome is you can make it a horizontal photo without moving your phone. So you don't have to do this to get it to go to horizontal. You can just do that, which I love that so much. The front-facing camera, I'm already looking at it. Quality is a 10 out of 10. Okay, so as my apps download, I'm gonna put the phone aside and let's unbox everything else. Let's get this phone ready. So we've got the Spigen case. I have a new one actually coming tomorrow. This one is just like a temporary one because I couldn't get the other one in time. Even if I paid for like faster shipping, that case wasn't gonna get here in time. So I got this one as a temporary case. It's just a clear case. It is MagSafe though, which the MagSafe is supposed to be still very strong on these phones. So I have that. I have the screen protector, which I'm not going to put on in the video. I do really recommend this brand though. This brand is really, really, really good, only because of their return policy. So I get these at Best Buy, and if you get the slightest scratch or crack on your screen protector, you can take it into Best Buy and you can get it replaced for $0. They're also really easy to put on yourself. Because I'm doing MagSafe this year, I decided to get a MagSafe Popsocket because you can take it on and off. Let's unbox the case. Okay, so this is how the phone looks with the case on. See what I was talking about, that people were complaining that the Apple logo is now not going to be in the center of MagSafe, which it was previously. So I do think this could annoy people if you don't put anything else on your phone. So my biggest annoyance was on the cases, and the reason is because you know how on a regular like iPhone case or the previous iPhones, it had this square cutout for the cameras? Yeah, a lot of the cases now have the entire back cut out. I am talking this entire back, and I'll put up some photos here. This entire back screen is gone, and it's just a gaping hole. I hate the way that that looks. I don't like it. So for this phone, Case Company Spigen, I think is how you pronounce it, it covers the entire part. This is a screen protector, and it just has the holes where the cameras are. So you have camera hole 1, 2, 3, and then you have a hole here and a mini hole here. I think this looks a lot better. I think it's super protective. If I drop my phone and it just hits like this section, I'm not gonna be that nervous. If it hits the camera, we may have a little problem there, but I've never had that happen where it hits the camera specifically. So pay attention to that. When you're buying a case, if you don't like the way that that looks, pay attention, because I hated it. I am telling you, it took me 3 hours to find a case, but I think this one is really good. I like it. I'm actually interested to see my other case come in tomorrow because it's from the same brand, but it was 3 times the price. So I'm curious how much different it's going to be. But okay, let's try the MagSafe Popsocket. How do I get that? Why is this so hard? Ah, there it is. Oh gosh, that was strong. Okay, so this is how it looks if you are a Popsocket girly. This is how it will look for you. Definitely like pretty thick here. It's clearly bigger than the other Popsockets. As you can see, this is like another one that I have. It's like pretty small because it doesn't need that magnetic force field that this one has. But I feel like this is a pretty strong one. Like it feels really, really, really strong. What else I like about it is if you are someone that is very annoyed with your Apple logo not being centered with the MagSafe clear cases, if you use something like a Popsocket or something where you're using MagSafe, it's gonna cover that logo. So as you can see, it covers the logo completely. So it's not annoying because I'm not gonna be seeing it. I feel like my first impressions before opening it was that this phone was so ugly. Didn't like it. Didn't enjoy the new look. I didn't like this. It was very annoying to find a case for it, but to me, I do think camera features, battery life changing would be beneficial if you have an iPhone that's like the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 14. If you have the 15 or 16, you're really gonna need to look at the features of this new phone, and if you feel you need those features or care about them. But if you feel like you are someone that needs those features, you are constantly using your phone for videos, photos, or anything like that, you're really gonna like this. And if you're someone who needs a better quality camera, if I were to compare my 13 camera to this camera, there's a clear cut like decision on the change and how much I see a change. Do I see the biggest change in the 16 to the 17 camera? Not that much. Do I see a big change in the front facing camera? Completely. I think it looks way different. I think it looks way better. I also love the new camera features, the zoom out and zoom in on the front. I like the horizontal layout. I like that it auto does that for you if you have people in the photos. So I'm going to benefit from those type of features. Now iOS 26, all those features you can get on your phone. You can get every iOS feature on your phone for the new iOS 26 if you update your phone. So for any of those features like the liquid glass, you could do that on any phone. But if you want those little features, better camera quality, things like that, if you have a 16, you can change or you can get a new phone. But I would definitely think if those features are worth it to you and paying what you may need to pay at your carrier at Apple to get the new phone. Yeah, that is my first impression on the new iPhone. If you would like another video of me testing out everything, I'm talking the new camera, I'll go outside, I'll take outside photos, inside photos, I'll go and take photos in good lighting, bad lighting, we'll go test out the zooming, like the zoom in for the front camera and the back camera, and I can really show you guys and compare the differences. Let me know. I can also test out the phone for about a week, see how I feel about it then. Do I feel like the new chamber works well for making sure the phone doesn't overheat? Do I feel like the camera quality is really all that better? Do I feel like the battery is a lot better than this phone? I can do an updated video for you guys in about a week with kind of like a week update after my first impressions. So let me know if you guys would like that. Let me know also if you are going to get the iPhone, what phone are you upgrading from and what color are you going to get? Because the color selections this year for the Pro series, they're just not it for me. I love to get the new color, which clearly you could see I get the titanium. I've gotten the blues before, but to me, the blue on this phone, the dark blue, looks very purple in photos. I don't want a purple phone. Not my favorite color. Blue is. So I feel like the iPhone Air, those are the best colors that we have this year. By far the best colors, and I was very sad about that the Pro series didn't have that. I'm also not a fan of the color orange, so again, wasn't a big fan of that, so it kind of left me only with the silver one to get. I will say I think the silver looks really sleek, so I'm gonna like that part of it. It's gonna go with everything, but I will say that was definitely a letdown for me. So if you're gonna get a new phone, what color are you going to get and how are you feeling about the new updates? And then what phone do you have now that you're transferring to? Let me know if you guys have any other questions about the new iPhone and I will answer your questions down below. And then don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next iPhone video.